to our office at H56 57 Ikota Shopping Complex, VGC, Lekki Epe Expressway, Ajah, or call Mr. Adeniyi on this number 09070995466 or 08052894614. Aspire Heights Realtor says get your properties at affordable prices. Yeah.
Aspire Heights Realtor is here for me.
Oh, yes.
Everybody listening, oh. Real estate and land agents with 100% guarantee. Aspire Heights Realtor, now you be baba.
Oh yes, buy land, buy house, lease and rent houses or land with ease at Ibejuleki and its environs at Aspire Heights Realtor at affordable and reasonable price. We have estates in different places: Arium Estate, Abidjan, Lekki, Green Island, Lekki, Royal Flex Estate, Lekki, Peninsula Home Phase 2, Lekki, Royal Flex Estate Phase 3, Lekki. All these and more are our estates with good roads, maximum security, buildings with good structure and well planned. And as far as Ibejuleki have good future, you too can come and plan to have your own company. Refineries under construction, Lagos State Smart City, Lekki Free Trade Zone and Lekki Deep Seaport is under construction at Ibejuleki International Airport. 60 different Chinese companies, Fort Milan Bridge, Ibejuleki Shoprite and so on. Commercially and industrially, Ibejuleki will be great and conducive place for everybody. Come and get your own property at Aspire Heights Realtor. Come directly to our office at H56 57 Ikota Shopping Complex, VGC, Lekki Epe Expressway, Ajah, or call Mr. Adeniyi on this number 09070995466 or 08052894614. Aspire Heights Realtor says get your properties at affordable prices. Yeah.
Aspire Heights Realtor is here for me.
Oh, yes.
Everybody listening, oh. Real estate and land agents with 100% guarantee. Aspire Heights Realtor, now you be baba.
Oh yes, buy land, buy house, lease and rent houses or land with ease at Ibejuleki and its environs at Aspire Heights Realtor at affordable and reasonable price. We have estates in different places: Arium Estate, Abidjan, Lekki, Green Island, Lekki, Royal Flex Estate, Lekki, Peninsula Home Phase 2, Lekki, Royal Flex Estate Phase 3, Lekki. All these and more are our estates with good roads, maximum security, buildings with good structure and well planned. And as far as Ibejuleki have good future, you too can come and plan to have your own company. Refineries under construction, Lagos State Smart City, Lekki Free Trade Zone and Lekki Deep Seaport is under construction at Ibejuleki International Airport. 60 different Chinese companies, Fort Milan Bridge, Ibejuleki Shoprite and so on. Commercially and industrially, Ibejuleki will be great and conducive place for everybody. Come and get your own property at Aspire Heights Realtor. Come directly to our office at H56 57 Ikota Shopping Complex, VGC, Lekki Epe Expressway, Ajah, or call Mr. Adeniyi on this number 09070995466 or 08052894614. Aspire Heights Realtor says get your properties at affordable prices. Yeah.
Aspire Heights Realtor is here for me.
Oh, yes.
Everybody listening, oh. Real estate and land agents with 100% guarantee. Aspire Heights Realtor, now you be baba.
Oh yes, buy land, buy house, lease and rent houses or land with ease at Ibejuleki and its environs at Aspire Heights Realtor at affordable and reasonable price. We have estates in different places: Arium Estate, Abidjan, Lekki, Green Island, Lekki, Royal Flex Estate.
How are you? Welcome back to yet another program of Business Surgery on Noble People International Magazine. I miss you all. That's why I'm laughing, because I'm not even smiling. I'm laughing because I miss you all. How was your holiday? How was the bank holiday last week? So we hope you enjoy your bank holiday. Today is another edition of Business Surgery. My name is Bernadette Abu. and welcome to this edition of Business Surgery. Today we're going to talk about working capital. This is Noble Television right here at the Art of London. Welcome everyone, and we hope you're going to sit back, relax, take a paper and pen, write down. We're going to talk about working capital, something which is actually really trivial when it comes to business. Very important. With working capital, it can either make you build your business or it can break your business. So that's one of the most important things we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to take you through the steps of working capital. So welcome everyone to this program, and we hope you're going to enjoy it. Working capital, you ask what is working capital. I'm going to give you a defined statement of working capital, not just what I think about it. I'm going to define it. Working capital is a business. Working capital of a business is the thing they use or the money they use on a day-to-day trading and operation. It is calculated as current asset minus current liability. I'm going to come to that to tell you what's current asset and what's current liability. Working capital is called operational asset or net current asset. This is something which you use in your business. These are the short-term things you use in a business. We talk about current assets. Current assets are things like inventory, cash, stock, your receivable, like your debtor, people that owe you money. These are working capital. These are your current assets. And this is what makes out your working capital. So it's written normally when you talk to, mostly working capital is dealt with from the management accounting, because sometimes people look and say, oh, I'm an accountant. But if you are an accountant, you should know there's two different types of accounting. There's management accounting, which is like in-house, and there is the financial accounting, which do like the reporting. Not all accountants are financial accountants. Some accountants are management accountants. So in as much as you all will be studying for the same thing, that's why you get CIMA and ACC. CIMA deals with more of management accounting, and ACA deals with more of financial accounting. Someone that studies CIMA can actually be a financial accountant, but they're more specialized in management accounting. So that's the two different. So sometimes when people tell you I'm an accountant, you can ask them, what kind of account do you do? Do you do management accounting or do you do financial accounting? So our topic today is a very important one when it comes to business, and it's called working capital. So working capital. And when it comes to working capital, it's managerial accounting strategy designed to monitor and utilize the way two components of working capital, your current asset and your current liability, to ensure you work financially stable, to ensure you work efficiently, you operate efficiently in your company. Because working capital is the money that goes in and out, basically. The small money. Because you know, if you have an office, or maybe some offices have fixed assets like buildings, they have lands. If you want a quick cash, you cannot go and sell the land. Okay, I know some people, or back home, people can do that, they can sell the land. But when you look at accounting, if you're an actual accountant, or you are a financial strategist, you will be able to know that you don't need to sell the bigger asset for you to get money. For you to operate in the business well, you don't need to sell your asset like the big things. You don't need to sell your land. You don't need to sell the buildings. You don't need to sell other fittings that you have in the building. There are things that you can use for you to get adequate cash for you to operate the business. You ask me, what do I need working capital for? I've told you what is working capital. You need working capital to manage your inventory management. Inventory management is the things that the stocks. Most business buy and sell things. They have product, your stocks. You've got the inventories. You've got receivable management. Receivable is your debtor, the money they're paying you in. Sometimes that's why you notice some businesses go to do something we call factoring. I'll come into that. some people do things which we call factoring. And factoring is you sell your invoices. You sell your invoices, and with the invoices, they will pay you some amount of money, which you will be using to operate on your business, on your day-to-day business, and which you'll be using to buy things or to pay your staff, or if you want to do other things, maybe invest in a quick project. So that's what you use working capital for. Cash management, just as it says, cash management, cash. What you use, sometimes you want to pay staff, you want to do petty cash, you want to go and buy stationery, a few things. Because we're talking about this, sometimes people think, oh, but I sell on cash. Because I sell on cash, so that means I don't need working capital. Everyone needs working capital. Everyone needs working capital, because with working capital, you'll be able to buy things. With working capital, you will be able to buy things. You will be able to operate well. You will be able to pay your staff. Some businesses, let's use people that work actually with care agencies. They will, if they are suppliers or big suppliers, they will supply people like NHS. And when they supply NHS, if they're going to supply NHS, they're not going to be able to actually get money at the same time. So what they would do, they'll send the staff in, but then they don't have the money to pay the staff. And if you don't have the money to pay the staff, what they'll do things like factoring. You need that cash. You need the cash to pay transport. You need the cash to, some businesses have their own vehicles. You need the cash to fuel the vehicles and other things. So these are what you need working capital for. And with that, you will be able to run your business well. It's how you operate your business. Working capital is the money you use to operate on your business, your day-to-day activity. Factors that affect working capital. There are lots of things that can affect your working capital. The nature of your business. You ask me, what is the nature of the business? The type of business you do. As earlier I mentioned, to say things like NHS. I mentioned things like NHS. Yeah? If you're working with NHS, or you're supplying governmental organization, or you're supplying any type of business that they don't pay cash payment, they pay on credit sales. Because some businesses, when you sell to them, they actually pay you after, not the same time that you're actually doing the business with them. They pay you later. They pay you in 30 days terms. That's why they get things like terms of payment. And when it comes to things like terms of payment, you are wondering, how long will it take? That's why any business you go into, you need to ask them, how long will it take for you to pay me? How long will it take for us to do business? How long will it take for me to receive my payment? You need to ask that when you go into business, because the type of business you do, some businesses you need money every day. That's why you notice some businesses, even especially like charity, when it comes to they want to do short-term project, they want to do short project, they have to raise funds every day. One, it can be affected by poor management. I'm coming into that. But sometimes they have to raise funds. Everything they want to do, they have to raise funds. Why is they have money incoming in? They sell product, there's money coming in. There's money coming in. But how do you do? What do you do with the money that is coming in? And how do you operate? How do you manage your cash? That's why you hear businesses going into liquidation. You hear business going into administration. Not because they don't have assets, but because their current asset is low. They are heavily in either debt, or maybe their terms of payments are not right. Because if I am going to pay, earlier on in one of my programs, I spoke about that. If I am going to pay someone in 2 weeks, I expect my suppliers, I expect them to pay me in at least a week, so that I'll be able to cover the payment. You need to make your payment in a way that the payment comes before it is due for you to pay your own creditors, which would be like your staff and other things. You have to pay salary and all the things that will come in. You have to pay maybe light, different things. Light sometimes are 3 months, depending on what kind of project or what kind of light things that you have, what kind of billing system you're running. But we noticed that charities, most charities, some businesses do that when they have small new project, they have to like take a loan or go raise fund. That's not the time. You need to plan in advance. You need to plan like monthly. You need to plan early. And then you check on things like feedback. I was talking earlier on in my other program about feedback. You need to do feedback. You do reviews, like 3 months reviews, 6-month reviews, so that you know, am I in line with the with either my strategy that I've put in place, or am I in line with my project? Am I in line with my fund? Is my fund running low or high? You need to know that. So the things that can affect your working capital, another thing is your production policy. How do I produce? That is for companies that actually produce, like, let's say if you're manufacturing something like clothes, or you're manufacturing like makeup, anything that is manufactured. When do I get it produced? How long does it take for them to produce it? You need to know what's your policy. Is your policy a 3-month policy? Is your policy a 2-month policy? Is it a 1-week policy? What kind of policy do you have on your production policy? Your credit policy, that's the one I was talking earlier, your terms of payment. What's your terms of payment? How long does it take for people to pay you? How long does it take for you to pay people? That is when you talk about receivables and your creditors. Your receivables are your debtors. They don't call it debtors anymore. Or that's when you talk about your receivables. How long does it take for you to get your receivable? That is something you're receiving, money that they owe you, that you receive. How long does it take? How long does it take for you to pay your creditors? People that you owe money. How long does it take for you? That's it, what you talk about, terms of payment. Your inventory policy. You see, that's why I tell people most of this program, they're interrelated. Most of my program, they're interrelated. I make sure, because business is mixed from things like marketing, strategy, your accounting. Your business have different components, and these components, they all fall in place. This what the previous one I was telling you about your credit policy was actually on your marketing program, and now we're talking about accounting. This is pure accounting I'm training you today. It's management accounting. So most of the things I talk, they're all interrelated from one thing to another, one thing to another. We get different things, but we put them all together. It's like different pieces, like a puzzle, and it comes together as one. So inventory policy. What's your inventory policy? How do you get stock? Your inventory, people want to know, someone want to know what's inventories. Inventories in the business are what we used to call stocks, but they don't call it, because most of the things have been updated, they don't call it stock anymore, they call it inventories. So your inventory policy, your normal factors, abnormal factors, there are things that will happen which we talk about risk, foreseeable risk and unforeseeable risk. Abnormal factors, there are factors that can take place that you don't really know where it comes from. It can affect, something can happen, like, let's say, we call it, let's say, emergency. In the case of emergency, anything can happen. You will need cash to operate. You need cash flow. Basically, you need cash to flow into the business for you to be able to pay people, for you to be able to pay your staff, for you to be able to pay your bills, for you to be able to operate. Because don't forget, when you start a business, you have your your capital that you've invested in the business. And some of this money, because you've invested into the business, you would have buy things like plant, machineries, which you use for production. And those things, you cannot just go and sell it again just because you want money. Some of it, you cannot get the same value for the money. Some of it, you cannot get the money you want because you might not get buyer for it at that time. So when you need money, you use these little things like the current asset, which you can dispose of easily. Because that's why when you talk about working capital, they look at your business, even when you go to finance your business, what they look at is how quickly can you turn your stock into cash. How quickly can you turn your receivable into cash. They don't look at how much buildings you have, how much houses you have, how much land that you have, because sometimes these things take long to sell. When you want to sell a house, it will take long. There are lots of process. But when you want to sell inventories, the process is quick. That's why they call it liquid cash, liquid asset. These are things that how can it turn quickly, because water can be dealt with quickly. That's why it's called liquid. How quickly can you turn it into cash? That's what the investors are looking at. That's what creditors are looking at. That's what buyers are looking at when it comes to business. So how quickly can you turn it? What's your working capital? What's your working capital like? That's what investors look at when it comes to business. Your market condition. In some businesses, they have got policies in certain market. When and how you can sell things, when and how you can take to produce things. There are some things that you have to take longer to produce. You cannot produce it in 2 days or in 1 day, because you have fermentation. They have different policies, different procedures. You talk about condition of your supplies. How do you supply? What's your terms and conditions? How do you supply? Where do you supply? Let's say if it's raining season, let's say you're operating in Africa and you have to, even in Europe, there are roads that get bad. We get flooding when it comes to raining season. And if it's raining, let's say summer here when it's snowing. If it's snowing here, how long will it take for you to, if you have to go and supply, let's say in Manchester and it's snowing everywhere, or you have to supply in Scotland and it's snowing, it's actually going to affect the business. So it's going to affect the way money comes and when and how money comes into your business. Your business cycle. There's something we call business cycle. I'm coming into that. I'll tell you more about your business cycle. Your business cycle, taxation policy. We'll talk about taxation. We have corporate tax. We have personal tax. Your taxation policy. If you're a director, you have your personal tax and your corporate tax to deal with. So what's the taxation policy? What policy are you operating on? That can determine how your working capital operates. Price level changes. Sometimes, maybe you buy, this will be mostly when you operate in foreign currency. Let's say I am selling to a customer is actually in Holland, then I'm in UK. The pounds changes, the value of the money change, and because of that, there is a difference between how much I will sell, how much I bought the product, and how much I sell at that particular time. And by the time the person pay me, how much do I receive? Because if the pounds to dollar have dropped, the money I'm going to receive, in as much as if I tell the person it's $20, I expect $20. So in as much as the value of $20 to pounds would have dropped, I still will receive $20. But maybe in equivalent to pounds, it might be less. So when it comes to things like that, it will affect how your working capital will operate. We talk about operating efficiency. How efficiency? Your management. I always say they don't put square peg in a round hole. Your management. How do your management work? How do they operate? How efficiency do they operate? How efficient do they operate? You don't need to raise funds for everything you want to do. You have to budget. In business, you have to budget. Do you budget? There's no way when the budget is the same as the actual. You need to budget. You need to put the budget in place. That means we decided that this year, we have to do this project, project A, B, C. That's how they'll put it. Or project 1, 2, 3. You put the project on and you say, okay, these are my plan for the year. This is my annual plan. And this is how much I will need to spend. So before the time comes, you would have beginning to raise funds. You would have known what, because you buy and sell, you would have known what money, when this money comes in, how do I spend it? How do I operate on it? That's why you need to have people that have the right skills, the right knowledge, the right expertise. If you don't have it, outsource it. There's nothing wrong in outsourcing. There are some things that you don't need to outsource, but there are some things you can outsource. Outsource some things that you don't have, or you don't have the right expertise and you don't have the right knowledge. There's nothing wrong. Then you focus on what you're meant to do. You focus on what you know, what you're good at. But what you're not good at, or what you know you cannot do perfectly well, outsource it. Find people who can do it. Let's say if it's marketing, you want let's say you are which industry am I going to use now? Let's say you're in the beauty industry and you don't know accounting. Outsource your accounting. Let's say we're a media company now in Noble and we need an accountant. We can outsource our accounting and we focus on doing our media work. So let's say if you're a builder, you have builders. If you're a builder, yeah, you can outsource your marketing. You can outsource your marketing to us, Noble people who can tell you what to do. We can tell you how to do it. What do you need to package? Do you need to advertise on newspaper? Do you need to advertise on our magazine? Do you need to come as one of our guests so that we interview and people know about your product? That's what you need to do. Anything that you're not good at, then don't focus on it. Focus on your strength and not on your weakness. We talk about price level changes. Sometimes people can buy things in bulk and it might say, okay, if you buy bulk, it will cost you 20,000 to buy 100 if you buy it now. But if you buy it in 2 weeks or in 2 months, it would have changed. What do you need to do? So some people will rush and buy it in bulk. And you see, it's something like most times when it's not normal in UK for prices to change when they have election. But when you go to places like Africa, when things like elections are coming, there are major things that are happening because people are scared to say, okay, things that might run out. So they buy it in bulk and keep. Even in times like in war, when people are in war, they buy things in bulk. They keep it because they're scared that the prices will change. So now you look at it, if I buy it now for £20, if I wait till 2 weeks, I will have to buy it £600. So I'll buy them now and stock it. That can affect your cash flow. That can affect your working capital. Availability of raw material. Where do you get raw materials from? Okay, let me just check for see who and who is watching. Let me just greet our online guests to see who and who is watching us. And we say hi to them and thank you very much for watching us at Noble People International Magazine, because we appreciate you and we value you. We value your presence. We value your time you're taking to watch us. We value your time you're taking to... We're glad that welcome Kikedamo, welcome Noble Police, thank you very much for watching. Welcome Ayo, thank you very much for watching, and we hope you're enjoying this program. Welcome Michael Ola, welcome, thank you very much for watching us. Michelle, welcome, thank you very much for watching us. Welcome Olavia Ramatu, thank you very much for watching, and we hope you're enjoying this program. Thank you very much for watching us. Thank you everyone for watching us. And we really, really appreciate you. Thank you for watching this program. Thank you for joining us. And we really, really, really appreciate you. So we're talking about working capital. What do you do and how do you do it? What and what you need working capital for? We're going to go on a short break and I'm going to get back to you right now.
Lekki Peninsula Home Phase 2, Lekki Royal Flex Estate Phase 3, Lekki. All these and more are our estates with good roads, maximum security, buildings with good structure and well planned. And as far as Ibeju Lekki have good future, you too can come and plan to have your own company. Refineries under construction, Lagos State Smart City, Lekki Free Trade Zone and Lekki Deep Seaport is under construction at Ibeju Lekki International Airport. 60 different Chinese companies, Fort Milan Bridge, Ibeju Lekki ShopRite and so on. Commercially and industrially, Ibeju Lekki will be great and conducive place for everybody. Come and get your own property at Aspire Heights Creator. Come directly to our office at H56 57 Ikota Shopping Complex, VGC, Lekki Epe Expressway, Ajah, or call Mr. Adeniyi on this number 09070995466 or 08052894614. Aspire Heights Realtor says get your properties at affordable prices. Yeah.
Aspire Hydrator is here for me.
Oh, yes.
Everybody listening, oh. Real estate and land agents with 100% guarantee. Aspire Hydrator, now you be baba.
Oh yes, buy land, buy house, lease and rent houses or land with ease at Ibeju Lekki and its environs at Aspire Heights Realtor at affordable and reasonable price. We have estates in different places: Arium Estate, Abidjan, Lekki, Green Island, Lekki, Royal Flex Estate, Lekki, Peninsula Home Phase 2, Lekki, Royal Flex Estate Phase 3, Lekki. All these and more are our estates with good roads, maximum security, buildings with good structure and well planned. And as far as Ibeju Lekki have good future, you too can come and plan to have your own company. Refineries under construction, Lagos State Smart City, Lekki Free Trade Zone and Lekki Deep Seaport is under construction at Ibeju Lekki International Airport. 60 different Chinese companies, Fort Milan Bridge, Ibeju Lekki ShopRite and so on. Commercially.
Thank you very much for this short break. Welcome back to another edition of Business Surgery on Noble People International Magazine, Noble People Television, here at the Art of London. Thank you for watching. Thank you all our viewers. We hope you're enjoying this. We're talking about working capital. You might think, what's working capital? Earlier on we talked is the money you use to operate in running your day-to-day business. You might look at it like it's cash flow. No, it's not the cash flow. It's got other things with it that makes it not the cash flow. But it's the money you use to operate on your day-to-day business, how you operate with your day-to-day business, your current asset minus your current liability. Your current asset will be things like your receivable. It will be things like your receivable, your cash, your stock or inventory, as we call it now. Before, people used to call it stock. So these are your working capital. And your current liability might be like your credit, your debtors. You have to pay people. We talk about debtors and creditors when it comes to working capital. People that owe you and people that you owe. So those are the things that you need to focus on when it comes to working capital. If you haven't, you were not with us earlier on, you can go through the program again and listen to us right here at Noble People International Magazine. My name is Bernadette. I'm your Noble presenter for today. So now, earlier on I spoke about business cycle. Business cycle is how your business goes. It goes up and down, up and down. Your business, every business. I know people will tell you, oh, my business is booming and my business, everything is fine. There is never a business that operates constantly on a boom. No, because he has to start from somewhere. You started one day and you didn't start with £1 million or £30,000 or £300 straight away. You started from nowhere to somewhere. So that is it. So every business have a stage and it have like a curve. You start, mostly when you start it goes in boom. And your business, everyone likes the business, everyone is calling you, you have more customers because you've done the research already, you know who to contact, you know who wants your product, you know who you want to serve. So that's it, the business. You start from a boom. Yeah, begin, you've launched your business, everyone is happy to call you, everyone is inviting you everywhere. Then it started going up, 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 and it comes down. Like what they say, what goes up can have to come down. Then it goes to things like there's a line which they say this is actually GDP growth. Then you go to things like when it says recession, then you look at it, I'm not getting new customers. What do I need to do to get new customers? I need to get new customer. That's when you do marketing. That's when we come in. We teach you how to do it. If you contact Noble People International Magazine, we'll tell you how to advertise, how to brand your business. Because sometimes your business needs to be rebranded. You might think, oh, I've got a wonderful name, my business is good, my business is that, but I'm not getting more new customers. Then you need to rebrand your business. Because when it comes to marketing, people think, oh, marketing is just about advertising. Marketing is not just about advertising. Marketing, you've got branding, you've got sales involved in marketing. You've got the advertisement itself. You've got a lot of things when it comes to marketing. So you need to know. What do you need to do? Now my business have gone to recession. It's when you leave it, that's when it goes to the slump. And when it goes to the slump, it doesn't come up. It doesn't come up. So when you leave it, you actually need to go. You need to do branding. You rebrand it again. And if you rebrand it, you will be able to recover. If you don't rebrand it, that's what happened with most businesses. In the beginning, within the first 18 months, they fall. Because they don't have the support. They don't know how to rebrand themselves and thinking, oh, what can I put in you? You just need that little dirt, that little thing that will make your business spark up again. That little thing that will make your business shine again. Then you can contact us and we'll bring you here, put you on here. We might think, okay, we will put you on our magazine, Noble People Magazine. We will tell you what to do. We'll look at your business and see what's going right and what's going wrong. And say, okay, sometimes it might not be going wrong, but it might not be operating well in an efficient way, in the way you should actually operate, in the maximum capacity that you should actually operate on. So when it comes to things like that, you need to contact the expert. Contact people that know what to do. You get lots of people that can help you. So contact us and we'll be able to show you what to do. Then you go, when you've rebranded, you go back to the booming stage. And it will go up, go up, go up. You know, things like technology changes, price changes, government changes, lots and lots of things. It can affect your business. So you need to know your business might be going back down. You contact us again and we'll be able to tell you what to do. We'll say, okay, this time you've gone on our magazine, so this time come on our live program and let's see what we need to do. Or you will say, you see, when we start our program, every time we do advert, we might say, okay, come and contact us and we'll be able to do your advert for us. We will be able to do your advert at the beginning of our programs. So contact us and we'll be able to help you to go through your business cycle. No business stays the same forever. No business. Even when you talk about things like Google, eBay, Amazon, they all go through all this process. So don't think because you're getting sales, you think, oh, my business doesn't need rebranding. My business doesn't need. I know someone who always say, if your knowledge is 4x4, your knowledge will only stay 4x4. Whatever your knowledge is, what you know. But tap into the knowledge of someone else. Tap into wisdom of someone else. Tap into other people's experience. Let them tell you how they've done it. Find a mentor. Find people who can mentor you. Find people who can show you, who can guide you. Every great and successful business people have all got a mentor, one way or the other. Some might not tell you plainly that I have a mentor, some do. They go to people who, when they're stuck, can tell you, okay, do it A, B, C. Don't get a mentor. If someone tell you they're going to mentor you or something they haven't done, they cannot mentor you because they haven't got experience. Mentorship is giving someone the experience you've got. It's expertise. It's professional telling you what I have done, how I've done it. Because in business, you get... you succeed in business, you have challenges in business, they can be able to tell you do A, B, C. How much? People will be thinking, how much WC do I need? Oh, welcome, Pastor. Oh, I've been told that she's called Pastor. She's a pastor. Thank you very much, Ma. Welcome everyone that is watching online here on Noble People Television. This is Bernadette Abu, and we're talking today about working capital. How much WC do you need? WC is working capital. How much working, people will think, okay, she's talking about this working capital, How much working capital do I need? It will depend by following things. It will depend the size of your business. The inventories, how long does it take for you to get your stock? It will depend, all those things will depend. The attitude you have towards risk. Because when it comes to business, there's everything, there's risk, there's internal risk, there's external risk, controllable and uncontrollable risk. The ones that you can control is easier. Don't worry about it too much because you can control it. You determine it. The ones that you cannot control are things like external factors, which are like governmental regulations. Those ones you cannot control them. And if you cannot control the external factors, you need to see how much am I going to dip into it. It doesn't matter what happens. As this song that says, it doesn't matter what comes my way, yeah? It doesn't matter what happens, I'm still going for it. It doesn't matter what happens, let's go into that industry, let's go into that market, let's go into that country and do that business. Because when it comes to business, you have to take risk. An entrepreneur is a risk taker, but you have to make a calculated risk. You need to know, is it risk that is controllable? Is it avoidable? Because there are risks which you can avoid. There are risks which you cannot avoid. There are things, if you know something will go wrong, then it's not a risk. You know that's an hazard. There's a difference between risk and hazard. This is like the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how it's going to happen. You might think, okay, it might happen this way. Like I was talking earlier on when we started, we're talking about hazard. We're talking about things like climate. If rain is coming or snow, you don't know how the depth of the snow. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know whether the roads are going to close. Those are all risks. And you have to take them in the business. You need to know your attitude towards profit. When you're doing business, I always say this word. I know business is not all about money. You have sentimental values, yeah? But if you're running a business, you have to make a profit. You have to make a profit. For me, for one, when it comes to business, I care about the relationship. I care about everything when it comes to business. I have a passion for it. And when I talk about business, I really put my mind into it because that's what I want to do. And if I want to help you to do business, I need to let you know that you need to have a passion for profit. You don't need to say, oh, I'm going to do business. Whether I make profit or not, it doesn't matter. But you're spending on the business. You're investing on the business. You're putting your money day in, day out into the business. Then it's a lifestyle. It's not a business. Don't make your business become a lifestyle. Let it become a business. I know we all have emotional attachment to our businesses. We have lots of other things why we do business. People do business because maybe you want to compete, you want to do. No, let your business be more about profit. Every other thing is extra. You know when you talk about extras, any other thing you talk about is the extras that comes in. The privilege are the extras. But you don't go into business because of the privilege you're going to get because you're doing that type of business. Let's say as a presenter, you don't go into business because you want that privilege of maybe seeing you everywhere, seeing your camera. You need to go into business in a way that you know you're going to benefit out of it. So that's what you need to do. What's your attitude towards profit? I was reading an article which says if you want to do business, you need to look at it in a way to say this is a die or live thing. To say, how much do I need to live? You know, when you're in the water, you determine that, oh, I don't want to die. I need to get out of this water. That's what you need to do in your business. You need to think like, I need to get out of this slum where I am. I need to go to the recovery mode. I don't need to stay in the slum forever. I need to go into the recovery mode. I need to start making more money because business is all about making money. And if you put your act to it, if you have the right attitude to business, you make the action, you get the right information, you take the action, because sometimes you have the information, but you don't take the action. You can raise up your hand. Most of us, we do that. We get the information, but we just take it and we keep it. We get information coming in. We will just put this information down and we don't act on it. And if you don't act on it, it's not going to work for you. You need to act. Take that action. Business is a verb. It's not a noun. It's a verb. It's an action thing. You need to do that action. You need to take that action. If you don't take that action, the money is not going to come into the bank. I know sometimes people tell you you can just lie down and then you make money when they talk about online businesses. Yes, people will tell you that, but they don't tell you about the extra work they put in. They don't tell you about the late nights they've done to do this recording, to do those videos, they're traveling. Some people don't tell you exactly. They just say, oh, you just sit there, relax, and you can make 6 figures. I've been in business. I know. For me, when I tell you about business, I've tried different things, so I know. It's not just one day that you sit down and you make that 6 figure. There are a lot of things to put in. There is the time. You have to go to that studio to record that program. You have to do lots of things. You have to find the right material, the right stock. If you're selling products and services, you need to know, where am I getting these services? Where am I getting this product? There are a lot of things to put in for you to succeed in life. And you definitely succeed. As long as you've got the right attitude, as long as you're determined to put in that effort to make that 6 figure, you will be able to make it. There's nothing impossible with God. So just get that in the back of your mind, that everything is possible. All things are possible. So when it comes to things like that, availability of credit, can I get credit? Because you look at things and you look, when it comes to business, some people say, I did one program, one of my previous program was talking about how people can get finances. How quickly can you get finances? How you credit worthy? We'll talk about things like credit scoring. Even my last guest was telling you about credit score and other things. How quickly can you get credit? Who will be able to credit you? Who will be able to lend you money? You have friends and family. It's not all businesses you want to do, you go to the bank. Sometimes your friends and families can do that. Sometimes friends can do that. You can go to people and you ask them, and they will be able to tell you to lend you money. They will believe in you. Tell them your dreams. Tell them what you want to do. If you don't have friends, if your circle of friends cannot support you in business, change them. Just change it. If your circle of friends cannot support you when you want to do business, change it. If they can support you when you want to go clubbing, you say, oh, can we go clubbing? They come. Can we go party? They come. Can we do this? They're there. Can we just go to the park? Can we go to the beach? They're there. Can we go to the beach? They're there. But when you say, oh, I want to do business, invest in me, they cannot invest in you. You need them to invest in you. Your family, your friends, they need to be able to invest in you. They need to be willing to support you. And that's what business is all about. We say business is a collection of relationship. And if life is a collection of relationship and business is part of life, then your friends and family should be able to dip into their pocket and help you to succeed. That's why you see most family businesses work well and most family businesses operate well, because they're willing to support. You wondering, why is it necessary for me to get adequate working capital? For your business to run smoothly, every business will need money. Business cannot operate without money. There's no way someone is going to tell you, I run my business without money. How do you pay your light? Unless if you've got someone who works in BT and you get someone who works in let's say Southern Electricity or British Gas or whatever company they use, then you can say you don't need money to operate your business, because then you get all those things free. But then they might be doing it the wrong way. Business is, when you're doing business, you need money to run your business smoothly. Smooth running of a business, you need money for it. You need the cash to flow. You need that money coming in. I know sometimes we all focus on what we're buying. We want to buy this for the business. We want to buy that. We want to buy that. But no, that's not how it is. You need to see, even when you're buying, you have to keep some more money in. Welcome, Antoinette. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. Yes, I'm Honorable Presenter. Say, yes, I need to come to you for a business proposal. No problem, ma. We're waiting for you, Noble Police. And we have Madam Antoinette. We've got lots of people here that is watching us online. That's why we tell you come to Noble Television and we'll be able to package it for you, because we have lots of viewers, we've got lots of audience which you can share your business with, you can share your proposal with. You might be thinking, okay, I'm running a not-for-profit business like a charity. It's still a business. You get funding in and you spend money on projects. Even if you're doing that, you can come in. Even if you're a community leader, come in and see how can we improve. We'll be able to show you. We've got different programs here at Noble Television. We've got different things. And we've got Hangout with Noble Police. We've got prayer time. We've got different program here. So we've got even yearly love show. Even if you want to talk about love, you can contact us. So they will be able to tell you the right presenter or the right person who will be able to align you with the right person, who will actually deal with you, show you what to do, and put you in the right place where you can operate well. Because for us, our passion is for you to succeed. We're not here to just talk to you. We're here to see you succeed. That's why every year we do our annual presentation, which we do an award, a Noble Award, which we present to you because we're happy to have you with us. We're happy to see you operate with us. We're happy to see you work with us. And we're glad to see you succeed. That's the most important thing. That's one of our aims, to see you succeed in your business. So we talk about this. How do I increase? Because you want to increase your goodwill. You want to increase your name. You want people to know about your business, your reputation. You want it. Profitability with managing risk. Because when you don't have enough money, there are lots of things that can be risky. Your business can go down. Lots and lots of things can happen. Your business can collapse. Your business can close. I'll be able to tell you that because I run different things, and when I run things, I've run businesses that have closed. Some can be lack of funding, some can be lack of staff, because you have to pay your staff, you have to pay your suppliers, you have to do lots of things. So for me, when I tell you when it comes to business, I can tell you risk, I can tell you challenges, I can tell you lots of things. And we've got lots of people who have got more. Here at Noble Television, we've got even people who have got 20 years experience. We've got people who know what they're doing in business. Every presenter here have got their own businesses that they operate. So when you talk to them, they will be able to tell you, because they have their own businesses as well. We don't only come and present to you. We run businesses. We're business people. We're entrepreneurs. We don't just come and talk to you. We run businesses. So we know the depth when it comes to business. We know the depth when it comes to marketing. We can tell you how to operate well. We can show you. We can just give you that little spark that will brighten your day. Smooth payment. You have to pay your creditors. You have to pay your staff, as we were saying. Trading relationship, for you to trade better. Sometimes your association might have things. You have to pay to go to those events. So when it comes to working capital, there's two processes that you need to do when it comes to working capital. If you know, yes, so we all have business, I all need money. Yeah, that's not police saying that. They all have businesses, she have her own diamond program. So there's lots of things that we do here. So contact people and we'll be able to know. We even have a college. If you want to know, you see, there are lots of things you don't know about us. So contact us and we'll be able to give you ideas. We can teach you, we can train you, we can educate you, we can market for you, we advertise for you, we brand your product. When it comes to managing WC, there's two processes. I spoke about it earlier on. Forecasting, you focus about your funding. How much do I need? You plan in advance, annual budget. It's funny when people operate without any annual budget. If government have an annual budget, what about you? That you're small, your money, government have lots of funds. Government can go to the bank and say, we need this, and they can be able to get it. They have bonds, they can sell things that will be able for them to get money quicker than you. But they have an annual budget, they plan annually. They don't just turn up and say, oh, today we're doing this, oh, tomorrow we're doing that. They plan it. Forecast. It doesn't mean that it will be exactly as you plan it. Sometimes we plan. They say man purpose, God dispose. Sometimes we can plan it, but God gives you another idea or God gives you another way. Don't worry about it, but at least you've planned it. You've written it down. They say write down the plans. Write the vision down. Sometimes the division may, it said, though it will tally. Yeah, it will tarry because it will slow down. Sometimes it will slow down. It will not come the way you want it. You can forecast, you can plan things, and you can budget things, but it will not happen the way you want it. So when it doesn't happen the way you want it, don't change the goal. Just change the strategy and see how you can work well with it. Arrange for funding. As we're saying, you can arrange for funding. There are lots of things that you can arrange, like selling shares, get loans from the bank, retain earning. Retain earning is the money that you get when you make a profit. I told you we're going into accounting today. Retain earning is financial. Now I've jumped a little bit from management accounting. I've gone to financial accounting. Retain earning, when you do your annual accounting at the end of the year, there's something which you, after you've got your expenses, you've got your revenue, you've minus the expenses and other things. I will not give you all the details that you take away, but there are a lot of things that you take away, what you spend, what comes in, which is your revenue, your sales. Then you take away your expenses. After you've taken away all what you spent, then you come back to, you have to pay tax. Yeah, you have to pay tax before you begin to say, this is what I have. This is my retained earning. You've made a profit, but even though you've made a profit, that profit is not yours, everything. You have to give 20% back to government because it's a law. I told you earlier on things like tax processes, tax policy. You've made the profit, but then you have tax policy, which here in UK is 20%. I don't know in other countries, but in UK it's 20%. It used to be 17.5, but now it's 20%. And if it's 20%, you have to take that after you've got a profit. You minus the tax, then you get something what we call retained earning. That is what you're going to keep retaining. It's self-explanatory, but you might not understand it if you're not an accountant. That's why I always say contact the expert. If you're looking for a bookkeeper, contact me, and I'll be able to help you. I'm actually a trained and qualified one. Retained earning, venture capital. People go to, you see, like when they say venture inventors, you go, you do pitching, and people will think, okay, can I invest on it? So you do things like Dragon Den, lots of other things. These days, there are lots of other small pitching that is going around. Check, find out, where do I pitch for my business? How can I pitch for my business? How can I let people know about my business? Where are they pitching? Where are they giving out money? Sometimes it might look about like free money. People could do like things like crowdfunding nowadays. It's more common actually. Crowdfunding is more common when it comes to raising money quickly for good cause. Then you look at things like short term. You might think, okay, bonds, bonds and shares, they're long term because shares have pre-shares date and other things. You have to have maturity dates and other things. There are a lot of things when it comes to shares, and that's why I said we were going into accounting. You go to the bank, financial institution, things like Jelly, they provide funding for businesses. The government are doing very well when it comes to funding right now. Government is actually providing funds for people that want to do business. Short term, you get bank credit, you can get transaction credit, things like invoicing. You go to different businesses. There are businesses which will contact you. As soon as you start starting business, they'll contact you to say, oh, this is what we do. We can pay you before you pay your staff. We can pay you before you get the invoice, but they take certain percentage of your invoice. They take certain percentage of that money that you owe, that they owe you. So that's how it is, which sometimes it's risky. Advance from customers. Some people can tell you, oh, I'm producing a book. So why is the book is being manufactured, or why is the book is being printed? Then you have to pay in advance. If you pay in advance, you can buy the book for £10 now. But when I finish publishing the book, you have to pay £20. You can ask for that. You can ask for part payment. Sometimes people will tell you, okay, you pay £10 now, and I'm just giving you a small amount so yeah, you can understand, so it's easy to work out. If you pay £10 now, and when the product comes, you'll be only left with 20 pounds. It's 30 pounds. But if you don't pay 10 pounds now, even when it comes to things like going to clubbing, some people tell you you pay 10 pounds now, or you can pay at the gate. Things that are different things that people work out. So you get advance payment, you get loan, overdraft, you go to your bank. Banks are very good in it. You get banks who actually work good with businesses. If you have a business account, most banks will look into it and say, okay, you've got this money coming in, so you just need this money, we can add your overdraft for you. They will add your overdraft, bill purchase and discount. Some company will pay. You see, that's why sometimes some company write to you to say, oh, we're creditors and we bought your debt. Yeah? People can do that. They can buy debts. They can buy your how much your customers owe you. There are a lot of things that will happen. Advance payment against the goods. Different things that can happen. Commercial paper if you're a big industry. So these are the things that you need to do. You can go to the bank. You think about operation cycle. When we're talking about this, we talk about components of your operating cycle. Every business have an operating cycle. And you might think, how do I calculate it? When you talk about your operating cycle and when you talk about your business, most of the things, if you're manufacturing business, you have to think about your raw material. The shortages, how short is it easily accessible? How can I access it? How can I get it? Will there be shortage? Will there be adequate material? All these kind of things you need to know. How quick can I get it? You need to know. That, okay, I'm going to give you formula, so that's what I'm looking at. I'm going to give you the formula. When you talk about raw material, you need to say how much average stock do you need of raw material? Yeah? Over the average raw material consumed by day. That means how much average stock do I need now? And every day, how much do I need to use every day? So you need to put that into consideration. Then you go to WIP, which is work in progress. And you wonder, I said today is an accounting day. Work in progress. When you're holding when you're manufacturing the thing, most things doesn't manufacture in one day. It takes time. It's a process. It's a timing. Because even after they put it in, let's say, even if you're baking a cake, when you're baking a cake, after you bake the cake itself, you need to put the icing on it. You bake the cake in the oven. You need to take it out of the oven to put the icing on it. Because sometimes if you just put the icing on it without putting it in the fridge, I think I have a bit of idea. I'm not a chef, don't get me wrong. Thinking, hey, where did you come from being a chef? I'm not a chef. But I think I have an idea when it comes to baking a cake. But have I baked one before? Yes, I have, but not icing cake. So what you do with things like that, you have to put it down to settle. Then you put the icing. Sometimes they put it in the fridge for it to cool so that the icing can set well. That's just like something that doesn't take long. But other things you have to manufacture, it takes days, it takes weeks. From then getting the raw material, things like even palm oil, they have to ferment it. From the palm kernel, it takes time. They have to take the palm oil from they cut it, they have to ferment it, they have to settle down for some days. I've seen the process. That's when I'll tell you I've seen the process. They have to put it down to settle for some days. Then they have to grind it or mill it. I don't know how you call it. But then they have to do it to get the juice out. And then after that, they put it down to settle. So some of these things take time. So that is what we call work in progress. Why is it there? It's still an asset to you, or it's still a product to you, but it's still work in progress. You cannot sell it. Even if you're going to sell it, you will not sell it for the exact amount that you want to get for it, because it's still in progress. You're still working on it. That's why it's called work in progress. It's still working on it. It hasn't got its perfect shape. So you think about the average work in progress product. How long will it take? What's the average cost per day? Sometimes you look about things like storage, because when you've got some of these things, you have to store it. You need to know how long does it take for me to store it? How much does it cost for me to store it? Finished goods, estimated production, times the direct labor permit. by 12 months over days, because you need to put, that's why I said annual budget. If earlier you had me talking about annual budget, because most of these things are worked in yearly, because you have to plan in advance. I know even me, I work in like just in time. I'm an accountant, so I do jigs. Jigs is work and just in time. I do mostly things that I can do quick, quick, quick. Don't get me wrong, it's because that's what you tag. Jigs just in time. You do things that you don't take long to produce, that you can get it produced in from here to there, from the manufacturing to the point of sales. So by the time you get the money, is the same. So things like that. But some of these things take long. Some product that people sell will take long. So it doesn't matter. Then your credit period. How long does it take? I said earlier on, your average credit. How long does it take for people to pay you back? You need to put all that into place. So when you're talking about operational cycle, you have to put in place your raw material, your work in progress. You need to put in your finished goods, your debtor from your credit period. All that you add together to see how many days will it take for me to get this product, for me to get my money, because I told you business is about money. You have to make the money. It's all about the money, money, money. Yeah, so business is about the money. How long will it take for me to get my money back? So that's what you need to look at. When it comes to working capital, there is a policy. There are different ways. You have conservative way, you have to do it in the posh way. You have the aggressive way, which you need to look at it that I want my money now. I want it now. So when you look at things like that, you need to look at a different way. The conservative approach is like when you go to a farm, financing it in a common and permanent way, asset. Yeah, long-term asset. That's what I was talking about. If you look at about long-term asset, it's looking about things like land, buildings. It's not the raw material. It's not It's not about your creditors. It's not about your debtors. We're talking about big things now. Big values. So people will use that for them to get money. People will use the aggressive approach, which we use things like the current asset, which is quicker. It's easier for you to get things. That's why they look about when it comes to debt and when it comes to finances, you're looking at things like your liquid assets. You think about liquid asset. How quick can you turn your cash, your inventory into cash? So those are the things we look at, and these are what you need to know when it comes to business. You need to get the money. You need to get the right money at the right time, because when you're doing business, you need money to do lots of things. You need money to buy the product. You need money to pay your staff. You need money to buy equipment. You need money for transport. You need money for lots and lots of things to transport the goods and services. There are a lot of things you need when it comes to money. There are a lot of things you need when it comes to business. And you need to run your business smoothly. You need to pay staff. Sometimes some businesses even sponsor other businesses. You need to get money to do that. That is like branding. You look at things and you say, oh, Google is organizing this program for businesses. Facebook is organizing this program for businesses. They sponsor those programs. Google even have an office which they allow you to do event for free if you're a business. So it depends. It depends what you want to do, what type of business, the nature of your business. But always make sure you have the right money in place. Always, because without money you cannot do a lot of things. Money can slow you down. Money can speed you up. Money can slow you down. So you need the money. You need the working capital. And you think, how am I going to get the working capital? Let's start working on it now. Me and you, we're in the same boat. We're in the same field. We're going to start working on it now to get the right working capital so that we can operate well. When we talk about operational efficiency and operational excellence, you need the money for you to run well. You need the money for the business to operate in an amicable way, in a smooth running, so that you'll be able to buy the product, you'll be able to do things. If you are interested in it, contact us at Noble Television. My name is Bernadette Abu. I'm your Noble presenter for today, and I hope you've enjoyed this. If you want to know more about working capital, policy about working capital, you want to know about your business cycle, contact me here at Noble Television, and I'll be able to help you. Thank you very much, all our viewers watching us all over the world. We've got Modupe Jonah, who is actually in America, watching us. We've got Pastor Michelle Ola watching us. We've got Kike Daman. We've got Antoinette Simon. And I'm watching from the other side, so I will not be able to see all of the names. But we've got lots of people that are watching us. We've got Linda watching, Rose Griffin watching. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much, everyone that have watched this program, and we hope you've enjoyed this. Here at Noble Television, we're glad to have you as our audience. We're glad to have you watching. If you want to promote your business, contact us at Noble People International Magazine. Contact us. You can email us, and we'll be able to help you. If you want to advertise on our annual magazine, we have different editions of our magazine. Contact us on Noble People, and we'll be able to tell you what to do. We have different people with different skills, different expertise here. Lots of expertise. They're all business-minded. They're all business owners, not just presenters, business owners. So they know in and out the depth of business. They have lots of experience. I will not tell you how many years, because then you start asking me how old am I. That's not why I'm here. Before you start asking me my age, I'm not going to tell you how many years experience they've got. But you've got people who are actually talented, gifted, people who have got experience. If you learn from other people's mistakes, you will not make the same mistake. And that is actually easier when you learn from people's mistakes. I have run business in a way which learn the hard way. But you know what? It's easier when you learn from people who actually, they've done it, they failed, they start again, they've done it. So we have lots of people here who you can talk to. Contact us on Noble People International Magazine here at the heart of London. My name is Bani Abu. Thank you everyone for joining. Till next week, thank you and God bless you. Goodbye and have a nice day.
And industrially, Ibejuleke will be great and conducive place for everybody. Come and get your own property at Aspire Heights Creator. Come directly to our office at H56 57 Ikota Shopping Complex, VGC, Lekki Epe Expressway, Ajah, or call Mr. Adeniyi on this number 09070995466 or 08052894614. Aspire Heights Creator says get your properties at affordable prices. Yeah.
Aspire Hydrocon is here for me.
Oh, yes.
Everybody listening, real estate and land agents with 100% guarantee. Aspire Hydrocon, now you be baba.
Oh yes, buy land, buy house, lease and rent houses or land with ease at Ibejuleke and its environs at Aspire Heights Creator at affordable and reasonable price. We have estates in different places: Arium Estate, Abidjan, Lekki, Green Island, Lekki, Royal Flex Estate, Lekki, Peninsula Home Phase 2, Lekki, Royal Flex Estate Phase 3, Lekki. All these and more are our estates with good roads, maximum security, buildings with good structure and well planned. And as far as Ibejuleke have good future, you too can come and plan to have your own company. Refineries under construction, Lagos State Smart City, Lekki Free Trade Zone and Lekki Deep Seaport is under construction at Ibejuleke International Airport. 60 different Chinese companies, Fort Milan Bridge, Ibejuleke Shoprite and so on. Commercially and industrially, Ibejuleke will be great and conducive place for everybody. Come and get your own property at Aspire Heights Creator. Come directly to our office at H56 57 Ikota Shopping Complex, VGC, Lekki Epe Expressway, Ajah, or call Mr. Adeniyi on this number 09070995466 or 08052894614. Aspire Heights Creator says get your properties at affordable prices. Yeah.
Aspire Hydrocon is here for me.
Oh, yes.
Everybody listening, real estate and land agents with 100% guarantee. Aspire Hydrocon, now you be baba.
Oh yes, buy land, buy house, lease and rent houses or land with ease at Ibejuleki and its environs at Aspire Heights Realtor at affordable and reasonable price. We have estates in different places: Arium Estate, Abidjan, Lekki, Green Island, Lekki, Royal Flex Estate, Lekki, Peninsula Home Phase 2, Lekki, Royal Flex Estate Phase 3, Lekki. All these and more are our estates with good